Good evening out there, ACAA basketball fans, and welcome to the playoffs. I'm Dave Tingley, live from the Crandall Gymnasium for quarterfinal action in the ACAA to finish out this 21-22 season, and we got a fun atmosphere in this gym tonight. This is March break for these schools, but doesn't matter. We got a good crowd out, and they are ready for a fun matchup. No such thing as, Crandall's hosting this game, and they are in the higher spot in the standings, but there is no reason to believe this isn't going to be a really tight, physical, typical playoff game against a young, up-and-coming King's College team that's playing really well right now, and against a Crandall team that's, a little bit shorthanded, still recovering from injuries. So we'll pause for the anthems, and we'll come back and get you going.
ACAA announcements today on the awards for this year's basketball season. And we would like to acknowledge some of those winners. First, for the University of King's College, Dave Norton, congratulations on winning first team all-conference.
The in-house announcer here, Taya Bailey, talking about the ACAA awards that were awarded today. And yeah, the award winners. I was just getting a note from my helpful producer to talk about this too. So yeah, on the men's side, Brett Curtis here for Crandall earned a first team all-conference notice, along with Jaden Norton from Kings. So yeah, well done for those two players, and we're going to look forward to watching them do work tonight. So fans, check out the ACAA.ca page and learn about all the All-Stars, and watch these games this weekend. There's games going on right now on the island. There's games going on right now in Sackville. Check those games out. There's games going on, I think, in Halifax as well. We're going to get to the out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll roll, and we'll keep you updated if this is the game you're choosing to listen to. Welcome again. My name's Dave Tingley. I'm excited to call this playoff matchup tonight. It is exciting stuff, and the starters that were so well announced by our in-house guy here, Taya Bailey, for the fifth place team, in the ACAA, the sixth place team in the ACAA, was I right the first time, for King's College, the fifth place team. They won the last game of the regular season against the Mount to avoid the play-in game. The Mount's in Mount Allison tonight, in the other guys' game tonight. So the starters for the King's College Blue Devils, Xavier Buckley, Dali Lombardi, Ilyas Kurbanov, Jaden Norden, and Givan Jande. So Givan Jande. So and the 5 for Crandall. If you're a Crandall fan, it's no surprise who they are. Devin Glenn, who's recognized as a second-team All-Star. Didn't get to that, did I? Somebody out there, probably Devin's mom, going, you forgot my boy. No, I didn't. Devin was a second-year All-Star, well-deserved. Brett Curtis, first-team All-Star. He starts alongside Colby Lawrence, Sasha Gauthier, and Gabe Cormier, and here we go. Defensively for Crandall, they come out on a man-to-man. Curtis can't stick with. And they get a wide-open 3. Can't stick with Buckley on that little handoff action, but a missed 3-pointer from the wing from Kings. And Crandall goes to work. And it's Curtis running the show up top for the Chargers. Gabe Cormier back from injury. Makes a huge difference to them defensively and offensively for Crandall. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Glenn cut off there up top. Got to go to work against the clock. Missed 3 for Crandall at the other end. And rebounded nicely by Kurbanov. Buckley off to Lombardi. And a 3 at the top. A nice stroke there. And he can make that one. The big man, Jande, he's not going to be shy, and he's going to try to bring Colby Lawrence out away from the hoop, open up that inside game for his team, and Lawrence goes to work, misses, rebounded by Glenn. Gauthier on a gimpy leg, drops down a 3, splash, goes Brett Curtis, ties the game at 3. He was the victim of an unfortunate incident a couple of days ago. Just at the end of practice, they went through the worst part of their practice at the end. They're just going through some motion stuff. Someone trips and falls on the floor, lands right on Mr. Gauthier. So he's playing on a gimpy wing, but not looking gimpy at all. Is Jande. 2 more for him. He's got all 5 for Kings here early. Curtis comes off a screen, uses that body, get open. Speaking of using that body, off his miss, Colby Lawrence doesn't. Banks it in for 2, 5-5, 8:02 clock running first quarter. Xavier Buckley giving instructions to Lombardi, going off some screens now, looking down low for Norden. Starting off with Devin Glenn on Norden, and he blows by and finishes for 2. One of the conference leading scorers. Norden, and see what he can do there. He's prolific from the perimeter, but he can put it by on the bounce as well. Speaking of prolific, there goes Colby Lawrence. And really, Kings, that's going to be the story for Crandall. Kings has no answer, with all due respect to Givan Jande. He just doesn't have the girth to stay with Mr. Lawrence. As I say that, he sneaks inside, collects that offensive rebound, goes back up for 2. He's not giving anything away on that end of the floor. They're going to have to probably double. He can see Lawrence asking for them to swing the ball around. And they call a travel on Cormier. Didn't really see that personally. And Cormier's giving a little shake of the head, but turnover it is. Back to Kings College. And we'll get into the Kings story too. Luke Stevenson, the young coach over there, done a terrific job with them as Sasha Gauthier picks the pocket of Buckley. And fans calling for, and they get it. It's an unsportsmanlike. And if you're an NBA fan, it's probably something that you'd recognize as a clear path foul. It's just different terminology. But Gauthier goes to the line. He's made a 3. But Gauthier, I think his ankle probably isn't 100%. He's obviously moving around pretty well. It's not 100%, and you know that because he's not starting off on Norden. I think that would have been the matchup as he gets the second free throw to go. I think that would have been where Coach Todd McKillop would have gone in this game. Would have been Gauthier to start on Norden, and as it is, Norden's on Glenn. So we'll see how that develops. Norden's definitely going to get different looks from different guys tonight. And he gets a wide open 3 here. Doesn't go, and a good fight there from John Day, pardon me, as Devin Glenn commits a foul on the reach-in. So really when Colby Lawrence gets his hands on the ball with his back, with his butt into you, 5, 6, 7, 8 feet from the hoop, and they don't send any help, that's when Givon John Day is probably going to be in trouble. But other than that, he is holding up his end of the bargain, and then some so far here for Kings. Well defended there from Glenn. Missed jumper from the wing from Norden, and that's what they want him to do. They want him shooting long pull-up twos. Coach Todd McKillop said that before this matchup when I talked to him. If he beats us on those long pull-up twos, then, good on him. And Crandall, turnover there. Again, well defended there. Givon John Day as Lawrence checks out and they come in. Go small, does Crandall. There's only going to be a small rotation tonight. You're going to see mostly 6 guys, and these are the 6. Oh, well done there from Kurbanov to keep that pivot foot. That was balletic. Oh, and pretty feed inside from Norden. Pardon me, fans. I am alone up here, so sometimes I'm going to miss the guy who caught it and scored. I was so busy admiring the pass there. I missed it. Curtis misses a long 3. And defended and skying for it is Dolly Lombardi, and sky is what that kid can do. Dunking in warm-ups. I don't often get shocked by dunking in warm-ups anymore. Lots of guys can dunk, but his head was above the rim, Mr. Lombardi. And look at that inside from Mr. Buckley, finishing and 1. Putting on his dancing shoes and tapping in the lane was Buckley, and this lead stretches out to 13-8. And so far, it's not the host Chargers, it's the visitors. Coming off a big win to end their season to avoid that play-in at the Mount, and they're showing some confidence. Coming in here to Crandall. Crandall not as deep. A couple of losses they've had to academics and other problems, family issues the kids had to leave and go home to. They're not as deep as they thought they were going to be come this time of year at the start of the year. But Coach Todd McKillop very confident in his 6 top guys. But they are having a struggle early, but they force a turnover here. And Glenn almost turns it back over, but he collects, holds off Buckley, pushes it up. Gabe Cormier out to Gauthier. Pretty move for Gauthier, and he banks it in. Off the glass, squeezing inside, showing no ill effects on that bad wheel. Narrows the lead back down to 4. Lombardi on the wing. There it goes from John Day again. He can make it. Misses that one left rim. Glenn, one of the leading rebounders in the league, despite his size, collects one, pushes the floor. Missed 3 there from Gabe Cormier, and he was hot in their last regular season game in this gym. Made 4 of those. Misses his first tonight. Buckley down inside to John Day. Back out to Buckley. John Day, 2-man game, gives it up. Norton's going to pop a 3 off the bounce. Missed. Inside, nicely collected there by Ilyas Kurbanov. Goes back up and rolls it in. And talking to Coach Stevenson before I asked, what's your team do? When your team's doing what are they most effective? And he said, without a hesitation, rebounding the ball on both ends of the floor. They lost a couple of guys at Christmas. I mean, this team could be even more dangerous than they are right now. They lost a couple of guys at Christmas, including their leading rebounder, as the referee blows it dead. And we've talked about this the last few games, fans. This is going to happen even with a professional crew. And when I say professional crew, I'm not lying. Tonight, on the bench, the likes of Judy Fautour and her friends that used to do the games for the Moncton Magic were recruited tonight. by Coach Todd McKillop. It's March break around here, so there's the regular bench folks. Some of them are gone, if not all of them. So had to recruit some new people and found some old Moncton Magic teammates of Coach Todd McKillop to bring out here and work the table. So an offensive foul there on the out of bounds. Looked like a screen of some sort, an illegal screen, and back to Crandall, and they got a chance to cut into this 6-point lead. Colby Lawrence back on the floor. And he squeezes inside, and up for two, through a double team. Pretty hard to stop once he gets the ball down there, even if you send a couple of guys at him. Kings doesn't have really the size and strength to send two sizable guys at him. It's going to be two thin, long, skilled defenders, but not big defenders, and that's going to be their problem. But they're not having any problem on the offensive end of the floor. Back inside goes Lombardi to lay one in, and the lead stretches back out to 6. So Crandall, Colby Lawrence having a mismatch on this end of the floor is great, but you got to be able to stop him at the other end. And right now, Kings is efficient at the offensive end of the floor, and they force another turnover. Coach Luke Stevenson in his second year at Kings. First year effectively. Coming off a nice look inside there from Norton. Unable to finish though. Coming off a 2-16 season 2 seasons ago, and last year, season interrupted by COVID. And this year, he really felt like his team was one of the teams that probably would have been better served by a longer season, a younger squad, and new to his coaching. And he really felt like if they'd have had a regular season length, that the standings and the playoff picture would look a lot different for his squad. He likes his team, confident in it. And Colby Lawrence, Kings calling for a charge. I thought that was a good call. He slid off of that attempted charge attempt. Really, there wasn't the direct body contact you need. It was really nice, really well defended. But no, I don't think that was deserving of a charge. Probably the right call, no call. Oh, good look inside there, back door. Just a little miscommunication with Kurbanov. He never quite handled it after that mishandled pass. And they turn it over, back to the Chargers. 18-14 now here, 1:13 remaining first quarter, in a nice atmosphere in the Crandall gym. Like I say, fans, it's about 3/4 full, and people are sneaking in more and more here. We're going to have a tight game. It'll be exciting fourth quarter, and loud in here. Colby's going to put his shoulder down directly. That one I would question if I was the Kings supporter. That one you might have been able to get a call on. He put his shoulder right directly into Kevon John Day there, but felt like he didn't ward him off inside. There goes another miss, and collected there by Curtis. It's Josh Crocker into the game for Kings, and that's going to go the other way. Yeah, that's a good call. Called for warding him off is Gauthier. Sorry, fans. I definitely checked out your team, Kings, on on the TV. I haven't seen them play in person yet. So these uniform numbers, old man here up at the top of the stands, is tough to read. So, Mr. Crocker, I apologize. I had trouble deciphering, but clearly number 13 in the game. And now also Corson O'Rourke into the game for Kings, who had some quality minutes. He doesn't mind. I was going to say you probably see him in here for a few minutes, giving the big guys a break, just bothering Colby Lawrence, because he's not afraid of body contact, doesn't mind throwing his body around at all, does Corson O'Rourke. Loved how hard he played on tape. And Noah Skaniak now checks in to give Colby Lawrence a break. Pardon me, fans, 2:44 remaining. I believe I looked at the clock when it was stopped during a timeout there before. It's 2:40. No, I was right. Okay, good. But, man, was I crazy there for a moment? No, the clock operators were. These pros from the Magic. Must be some problem with the Crandall system here. No, they're all on board. 24.4 remaining. That makes more sense. And Sacha Gauthier with a smile there, trying to get a foul right back. He knew he wasn't going to get the call. He had a little smile on his face there as he made a half. Oh, and that's a bad luck there a little bit for Crandall as the shot was missed from Norden. And just kind of a weird hop. They had numbers inside for the rebound, but just kind of a weird hop. Norden almost takes a charge, but a good break for Crandall that it's the end of the quarter. It's called not a turnover and no foul additionally on Gauthier. So at the end of one, Crandall trails in their own building. Quarterfinal Wednesday here in the ACAA, 20-16. All right, fans, so we'll try to take a look. We'll review here real quick the award winners. In the women's college, the women's basketball first team All-Stars were Lisa Belander for Holland, Kelsey Crocker for the Mount, Abby Miller for Mount Allison, and Emily Owens and Vanessa Safi for Stu. Tough to argue with those picks. The men's, again, we had Curtis and Norden in this game. Also Sam Pearson from Mount A, Gaio Asaya for Stu, and Jordan Holness for Holland. For the second team for the girls was Jenna Bain at Kings, Grace Bennett for Holland, Talia Jones and Alicia McNeil for the Mount, and Reese Nolan for Mount Allison. And the second team in the guys' end, Bryce Corliss for Holland and his teammate Deshaun Downey, Devin Glenn for Crandall, as we talked about, Devon Glenn, Jeff Lavoie for Stu, and Alman Derisivic for Stu. So really good all-star picks there. I can't really argue too much on them. Defensive players of the year, it was Asaya for Stu for the guys, and Randy Hudson from the Mount on the girls' side. The rookies of the year, Reese Nolan for Mount Allison, and Joshua Downey for Holland. And the coaches of the year, John Hickey for Stu, buddy of mine, attaboy John, and Mark Ford for the Mount on the women's side. Tough to argue. And the players of the year, Kelsey Crocker for Mount St. Vincent on the girls' side, and Jordan Holness for Holland. You want to get a better rundown of those, or you didn't follow me because I shouted them at you in a very quick manner? Then go to acaa.ca and check it out. And also check out what's going on there, fans, for the rest of the week. It's quarterfinal Wednesday tonight. You got semifinal Friday. The winners tonight go to the 1 and 2 finishers on both sides, the women's and men's. And then Sunday, the grand finale. So it's a big weekend. You got the New Brunswick High School Championships. If you're listening, those are going to be Friday night and Saturday. And you got Friday and Sunday. You got these games for the ACAA. So 20-16 as we start the second quarter. Reset. Kings College off to a good start. Crandall going back to their big man, Lawrence. And he's not only big, he's got soft hands and soft feet, does Mr. Lawrence. And that is why Luke Stevenson, coach of Kings, said before this game, he is maybe one of the best big men in the country, not just in our conference. And you see why he's getting out. He's showing you all the tools in the toolbox tonight. Well defended from Gabe Cormier on Norden there. And I don't know whether it's good news or bad news if you're a Crandall fan that Norden hasn't gotten going yet. Maybe this is a good game plan and you're going to see the tide turn, or maybe if you're a Kings fan, you're going, hey, he's not even that involved yet and we're up. He dances baseline and gets a call there from Glenn, and that might be 2 on Devon Glenn. It is his second, yep. So he'll have to go to the bench for a while, I would say. And that's going to be something to keep an eye on this second quarter. Without Glenn, we'll see how long Todd McKillop keeps him on the bench. This is a win and you're done, win and go home scenario. So if you're ever going to take a risk on a guy getting a third foul in the first half, it's going to be tonight, especially a guy like Devon. He's a smart player, good defensive player. They're going right back, are they, to Lawrence? And look at that pass. Good stuff from Lawrence, but Cormier, 2 shots to finish and can't. Yeah, he's Not only can he shoot the ball, not only can he muscle his way inside, he can pass it. So he's a tough matchup for Kings, but they're weathering the storm more than that. But going in off a steal is Daniel Hawks, and he ties it up. Timeout Kings. And all of a sudden, the Crandall gym is a little bit louder. For good reason. You got some youngsters in the house tonight, too, from TH Sports and from Riverview. I see some uniforms up here. So they're in the gym enjoying the game, making up for a little bit for the lack of students because of March break, but a little bit of noise in here. It's been kind of a blah start a little bit. It's an even game. It's well played, but I don't know, something about the flow of the game. The fans are slow to get into it, but not anymore. Here they come. Come on, Crandall fans. Let's hear you. So, again, guys, I'm Dave Tingley, and thanks for joining. If you're joining the Crandall broadcast for the first time tonight for the playoffs, I'm fairly new to the gig. It's been fun. I've been here as doing the games in only the brand new edition of the Crandall gym since Christmas. If you're watching for the first time, going, hey, I can see in there. You're right. It is beautiful lighting in here now. The floor is nice and bright. They got the paint job everywhere is good, and the floor is brand new. It's great in here, and everybody at Crandall, Jim Druitt and the staff's done a terrific job making the facilities top notch for these guys. And Coach Luke Stevenson for Kings commented before the game how nice it is in here. The guys like it. It's a better shooting environment. So all in all, good stuff here by Crandall. Norden going off 3 screens and finds his man open at the top, but a missed jumper there from John Day, but rebounded nicely by Kurbanov. Keeps it alive off to Buckley. Buckley, 1-2 pass to the corner. That's going to be a 3-up. Back rim, though, by Kurbanov. Nice find there from John Day, but just wasn't able to finish. And Crandall did a good job keeping him to 1. And Lawrence turns it right over. Ooh, but he got lucky there. Got his hand in there and knocked it off of John Day. While he's on the floor, and you might see him on the floor more in the second quarter if Glenn's going to be resting. But he gets that ball off the inbounds. Goes to his left, but can't finish. Rebounded by Kurbanov. And here come the Blue Devils. Being a Duke-hater, I don't want to use the Blue Devils term much there, Kings fans, or I might get a nasty taste in my mouth. So, well rebounded on the weak side there. And back to Kurbanov for 3, and he follows his own shot and collects and finishes. Couple of rebounds offensively from Kings. Crocker I didn't give credit to on the first one. He's the first guy that got it to his buddy Kurbanov. And that's what Coach Luke Stevenson talked about. When they're playing well, they're doing that. And the other key he said was defending the half court. We're good at that. And if we're elite at it, then we can win every night. That one, though, Gabe Cormier picking up where he left off on the weekend in this gym, knocking down a 3. And it's 23-22, and Norden, that's another good no call. I don't believe Norden deserved a charging foul on that either. Played out, Kings miss, backs comes Curtis. Been pretty quiet, has the first team All-Star, and he's going to step out of bounds and go the other way. He hasn't really gotten into the flow much tonight, and sometimes that happens. You get your hand on the ball, you force a little bit, and that felt like what Brett did there, forced it a little bit baseline. He doesn't have to worry. He'll get his stuff out of the regular flow of things if he's patient, and he normally is. And another 3 at the top, and that's going to go. Oh, I thought for a second there they were giving it to Norden. He looked like he might have pushed to start, but no, I think probably his arm was held there by Gauthier. And that's his second as well. So I think with these second fouls from their top 6, you're going to see a little bit more of Ryan Campbell, who's coming in now. And a little bit of Noah's cognac here in this quarter. As long as this score stays close. So we'll see if these guys can give them some good minutes. But there you go. Yvonne Jonde goes right at the rookie as cognac and lays it in. Still a tight game, 1 point lead. I think Coach McKillop's going to try to steal some time on the bench for his guys with 2, as long as this game stays close. Kings puts a push on here. I think he'll probably say forget that, not take any chances, and go back to his main guys. So we'll see how the second quarter plays out. It'll be interesting. Out of bounds there was Dali Lombardi. Got a little excited. Dali from Nagoka, Japan? Yeah, Dali hailing from Japan. Guys from some BC players, Quebec, Ontario, from all over the place for Kings. That's a missed jumper there from Gabe Cormier, a local man in his first year, Moncton native. And that's what you see. That's what Kings fans are used to seeing. Out of Jaden Norden as he drives for 2 and puts Kings up by 3 now. So we reach the midpoint here of this second quarter. These are big minutes. Ending the first half is always a big deal, and that's telegraphed from a mile away. And that's going to be 2 points and an extra one maybe for Zav Buckley. Lays it in and 1, and you talk about compounding mistakes. Dan Hawks just did. And I didn't hear how many that was for him, fans. Just 1 foul, we think, on Dan, hopefully, for Crandall's sake. We'll get these stats at the half, fans. We don't have them running. And the clock normally shows the player number and foul number, but they're not. That's not up tonight for some reason. Maybe we can get that up for the second half. These old pros, they know how to do that. So, Hawks handle the ball now at the point. Looking to go to Lawrence if they can. Up top to Cormier. Hand off to Curtis. Yep, they're looking back for Lawrence. They said send 2 at him. And he's going to the line for 2. You heard the whole bench yell. It's the second Colby touched the ball to run at him. But he split it, and he got to the line. I'm telling you, it's really hard, fans, to, you think, run a double team at him, run a double team at him. It's easier said than done because you don't want to send it too early because then Crandall's going to kill you with a skip pass, and guys like Curtis shooting 3s. If you go late, and that's what happens. But sometimes when you go on time, that's what happens. He's a big boy. He's hard to handle. And he makes his free throws. So it's a tough game all around. But again, Kings doing pretty well. Other than Lawrence, they haven't been victimized by many players on Crandall, so that's why they hold the 4-point and now 7-point lead. As Dali Lombardi splashes one in from the corner, pushes the lead out to 7, their biggest so far. Curtis coming off the screen. Nothing there for him. Hands off to Hawks. Big skip pass to Gabe Cormier, and he's going to put it on the glass. Doesn't finish. He had a wide open layup. Plays like that are going to cost the Chargers. It's a 7-point deficit. Kurbanov uses that screen. Lombardi from the same spot, but it's long this time. Curtis is able to secure the rebound. Crandall got a break there. Oh, Curtis with a nice split. He's going to retract the foul. So Kurbanov, I think, was the offender on that play. Crandall checks in. Lawrence out top. He's going to pop a 3. He can make that one too. Almost banked it in, but Kurbanov grabbed the rebound. Off to Norden. And Hawks now guarding Norden with help from Curtis. Now it's Lawrence, and he went through all of those 3 and then finished over Gabe Cormier. Talented guy. That's all you can say. Sometimes the offense is just a little too good. He made a tough shot. That shot should be tough, but Gabe Cormier of late making it look easy, and that's a huge one for Crandall. Brings it back to 6. Keeps him within shouting distance, trying to get through these 2 foul minutes for Devin Glenn. Look at that defense from Cormier, but like I said, just sometimes the offense is better than the defense. And Norden flashes the crowd a 3. And if I hit a tough step back like that, I'd flash the crowd a hand signal too. Curtis trying to get it back, a big one. Misses to the right. They're gonna need some of those. But it's timeout Kings. And they don't have much to talk about right now, the way they're efficiently handling things at both ends of the floor. Crandall's getting 1 shot and that's it on their end. And they're humming along like a machine on the offensive end right now too, getting pretty much whatever they want. I say whatever they want, but those 2 most recent ones at least by Mr. Norden were tough. He danced inside and finished with a big left-hand scoop off the window, and then off great defense from Gabe Cormier, step back 3, bang, and this lead is 9 points. And you got to wonder whether Coach Todd McKillop's going to go back to Devin Glenn and Sasha Gauthier for these final few minutes, because these are huge minutes. Seen it, talked about it a few times this year on the girls' side especially. Their last 2 games of the season, the regular season game and then their playoff game, their runs in the last 2 minutes over the UNBSJ girls team were very key to qualifying them for the playoffs. So let's see here, fans, if I can check the out-of-town scoreboard real quick here for you as we approach halftime. Norden looking inside for John Day. John Day with his back to Lawrence, looking for something developing on the other side of the floor. Well defended by Crandall. Well defended by Crandall. And a turnover. Lawrence takes it away from John Day. Inspired stuff. We hit the 2-minute mark. Crandall trying to turn offense into defense here, or defense into offense, pardon me. Tipped pass there. Well done from Norden. Somebody had a wide open one in there in the corner. Ryan Campbell's eyes were lighting up. Handoff here from Hawks back to Curtis. Curtis, it's going to be key that he gets going at some point here in this game. Hawks is going to try, or pardon me, Gabe Cormier is going to try a 3. Long had a hand in his face. Tough shot, wasn't able to finish. Lawrence knocks it away again from John Day. It's going to stay with Kings. Coach Luke Stevenson telling him to be stronger with that ball. And going down in the lane. It's Hawks and Norden. Hawks trying to attract an offensive one. Norden gets an open shot, not able to finish. Curtis in there digs out that rebound. Crandall's got numbers if they hurry. And Curtis is going to attack, and he's going to, I thought for sure that was going to go down. It did not, but he's going to go to get a trip to the line, and this is big. Very big to see if he can get his game going. Sometimes good player, you get to the line, you see a couple shots go, and you get going, but he misses the first. So I'm cursing him here, clearly. I'm going to say nothing here on the second shot. And there's a violation, Kings, but stays with the shot counts. So we'll see. You get one to go. You get a layup. You get a free throw. When you're a shooter like Curtis, sometimes that is all you need. So I'm going to ACAA TV fans here to see what the current state of affairs of the out-of-town games are. The men's game, the other men's game is slated for 8 p.m., so that's a start in about 20 minutes. So So fans, when we're done with our game here, switch right over to the Mount A game, and Mr. Steve Ridlington will take you through the rest of the evening. Currently, he's broadcasting the girls' game as turnover there from Zav Buckley, stepped on the sideline. Needs a size smaller shoe, maybe, if you're going to make that move, Zav. Hawks brings the ball up the floor. Frustrated was Curtis. He thought there was another play call. He's going to get an open three. Doesn't matter. Oh, looked good on line in the air. Back rims, though. Norden coming back. And his fellow first-team All-Star not able to finish. Thought for sure there was a foul situation there, did Coach Luke Stevenson. And the referee has called it dead in case of an injury. And, I mean, these... I see where, the fans are coming from a little bit. You see that contact, you see a guy hit the floor hard, you're thinking it's an offensive foul, but Norden is so slippery inside. He takes those big, long strides. I mean, yeah, he's putting his body on the line, but it's not necessarily from a push. He's so athletic that he can weasel his way in anywhere and get a shot off. Oh, and stolen right back is Colby Lawrence. Good defense from John Day, stepping in and taking the ball away, but Lawrence recognizing in his fellow center a weakness with his hands on the ball. That's a third time now the Vets taking that ball away. And Chargers are calling a timeout, trying to go into halftime here with a good taste in their mouth. They're down 8 right now. A hoop would mean a lot to them. 12.1 seconds left. So again, fans, tonight, on the guys' side, you've got this game. You've got the Mount A game slated to start in about 20 minutes. So we'll go to the girls' side on ACAA TV, and we'll check out the action there. We'll see what's going on. Riveting broadcast radio, riveting audio. I know, fans, hearing me scroll through my phone. I know you're entertained. So here we go. All right. So Mount A is playing the Kings girls currently. So let's see what the out-of-town scoreboard tells us. And right now, the Mount A women are up 55-39 as they have 1 minute and 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So it looks like Mount A is going to move on to the semifinals. And we'll check game number 2, which is probably approaching halftime or at halftime on the island. And oh my gosh, the link doesn't bring up the link didn't bring up the right game, so we'll have to try another way. And Crandall is going to get another attempt here, but dribbled off the foot, and now Norden's going to get a chance at the line for 2 additional shots, and that is big. Looking for maybe a 6 or 5 point lead going to the break, and now one of the leading scorers in the league's got 2 shots with 0.2 seconds left to try to stretch this out to a 10-point lead. And yes, fans, there we go. Now I've got the right links coming up for the Holland game. And Holland and Crandall. Sorry, Crandall fans. This is a rough score. So Crandall fans are having not a good night so far. In this building, in the building on Holland, in the Holland gym, it's 46-18 as the third quarter, as halftime. It looks like halftime on the island. And here, 38-29, your Chargers face a deficit here in this gym to a well-coached, hard-playing, pretty deep, and a team playing outside of their experience a little bit. These guys haven't had a lot of experience in these scenarios, and here they are with a 9-point lead in their first playoff game. So fans will go on a break. You jump to another game on ACAA TV and enjoy that for 14 minutes and 23 seconds, and I'll see you back here then. Welcome back, fans, for the second half of quarterfinal Wednesday in the ACAA from the Crandall gym. And if you're a Crandall fan, you're having a bad night right now. Your girls' team's not having the good end of it in Holland tonight. And tonight so far in this gym, it's the University of King College Blue Devils that are taking it to the host Crandall Chargers in this gym. And if you're Crandall, it's actually best case scenario for you right now. You're down 9. It could be a lot worse. You got Colby Lawrence, sure, 6 for 9 from the field for 14 points, but you're turning the ball over 10 times. You're being out rebounded significantly by King's College, and your starting backcourt, Devin Glenn and Brett Curtis, 28 minutes between them, 1 point, 3 assists, 0 for 8 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. Something's got to change there. So if you're a Crandall fan of these guys, you're cheering for them tonight, you're going, okay, down 9 with that type of stat line and score line, things could be worse. Things could be worse. So now you start fresh this half. You got Devin Glenn with 2 fouls, and that's it. Excuse me, I thought Sasha also had a second foul, but I think probably rested him a little bit for the second half as well. They know he can't get probably 35 minutes out of him on his ankle and his knee, so, it didn't get into double figures. So I think Coach McKillop kind of was, playing what he thought were the best percentages and got his team to the second half within shouting distance. So this guy is going to have to be stopped, and he is on the first play of the second half. Jaden Norton doesn't get his way. He's only 4 for 13 in the first half. Did have 10 points. It's a big 3, in and out, but there is Lawrence. And Brett Curtis in and out for 3, but it looked good. If you're him, if you're his teammate, you tell him to keep shooting. And he's clapping his hands. He's looking, his body language is better right now. He's looking like he's up. He's excited. I think his teammates probably gave him a little support at halftime, like, hey, dude, you're our guy. Keep shooting it. And he did to start the second half, and he should keep shooting it. And he gets the rebound there and pushes it. Takes a little bit of contact from Zav Buckley. Sheds it off. 38-31. Crandall, and that's a slip and fall. Good no call there. Devin Glenn, he's got to get going in this half too. The second team and first team All-Stars in the conference for Crandall U. Got to get going. They're still 0 from the field, 1 point, but their team's only down 7. And Norton isn't able to drop that pass off. Gets inside for 2 more. Sasha Gauthier saved his legs a little bit, and it's already paying dividends. The lead down to 5. Hand off there to Lombardi. Off to Norton. Met there by Curtis. Zav Buckley at the top. Back to Norton. He's going to try a 3, and he's pure. That step back, he loves that step back. And he makes it at a rate that few other guys do in this league, if anyone. It pushes that lead back up to 8. Excellent stuff. Screen there for Devin Glenn from Lawrence, and he gets all the way to the hoop. Boy, that's tough if you're a defender. You got Devin Glenn and Colby Lawrence running it. That's a long way to go around, that big body of Colby Lawrence to get back to Glenn. They didn't get any help, and he was able to lay it in. Rejecting the screen nicely that time. That was pretty stuff from Zav Buckley. Rejected that screen nicely, got into the lane, and made a good decision on a pull-up there. The lead's back up to 8 points. Glenn now. Hands off to Curtis. He's going to try another 3, and he gets it to go. Pumps the fist twice. And the fans pop up and give him a 3 symbol, and that's a big one. That's got to feel good for him. I think he came out of the locker room feeling confident. The first one was in and out. Second one, splash, and it's back to 5. To answer is Kurganov. He's not able to finish. Lawrence gets bumped by Givon Jonde. And I think Colby played that up pretty well. I don't know if Givon Jonde, in his slim frame, can get me off balance if I'm Colby Lawrence, but he took the contact and played it up and earned himself a foul, and Devin Glenn now gets to the corner to Gabe Cormier. Wide open three, that would have been big. But did Devin Glenn injure himself? He's slow to get up on that baseline. I didn't see him land, but you got to think he got up in the air to throw that pass to the corner, and he must have come down on somebody's foot. And it's going to be injury time out here for a second while Glenn attempts to get to his feet. The trainer's kind of going, I don't know if I want you to get up, dude. You might need some help getting off the floor. It's not looking excellent at this point. Yeah, he's limping bad. Boy, this is a big one for Crandall. Yeah, that does not look good for the return of Devin Glenn. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they get that taped. He gets up and moves around before it swells too much and he can get back in, but that was a pretty big limp. And if you're Crandall, you got to refocus. You got yourself back in this game. It's 5 points. You're in your own gym. I know it's a big guy, but you got to play well and get this back. And they force a turnover from Norden. Cormier gets all the way around to Curtis. Not able to get up a three. Gets it down to Lawrence, though. And he moves inside and lays it in for 2 more. And it's back to 3. And this gym believes, even if the odds are getting stacked more and more against them, this gym's believing. Well defended there, but you got to give up something. And in this case, when that screen roll is well defended, it's going to be something. There's going to be something else available. In this case, it was a Zav Buckley 3, and it went splash back to 6. And he gave a clap of his hands there. He wanted that one. Curtis, I was going to say, he's probably feeling it a little bit now. That first one went in. That one was a bit of a force, a little bit deep. And he's nodding his head, going, yeah, it's probably could have swung it around one more time and got a better one from closer in. Well defended there by Gabe Cormier. Turnover up the floor to Dan Hawks, and he lays it in. Back to 4. And Kings, if I'm Coach Luke Stevenson, I'm thinking, hey guys, let's take care of the ball here. When we do, good things happen. 3 there, not available this time. Norden, crossover into the lane. Finds Kurganov out again to guess who. Splash again goes Zav Buckley. Finds the bottom twice in a row. This lead back out to 7. And Sasha Gauthier, he's going to have to play big minutes here on that ankle. A nice spin move from Colby Lawrence. And if I'm Coach Todd McKillop, my first order of business on the offensive end is the old Doug Collins, Michael Jordan offense. Give the ball to Michael and get the heck out of the way. That might be what you have to do for Colby Lawrence here in the second half when he's on the floor. But boy, that's the second time Givon Jonde's made Lawrence pay for not getting out on him. And Lawrence gave him a, hey, I need a sub. And then Coach has gone up and down the bench going, who am I going to? And it's Ethan Witt. I had some thought, when are we going to see Ethan Witt? He's going to make an appearance as Lawrence bowls over Kurganov, who stepped in there bravely and took a charge. And Ethan Witt now is going to have to give Crandall some good minutes. He did in their last regular season game, made 4 threes actually, I believe, in that game. So he can give them the minutes that they need. It's there in them. Do they come out in a big spot? And look at that move. Feeling himself a little bit is Buckley, but he rims out on that baseline jumper and rebounded by Sasha Gauthier. This isn't the 5 that you'd expect to go to if you're Coach Todd McKillop, but it's what he's got. And Brett Curtis putting the ball on the floor and watching one go through, and that's big for him, his second hoop of this second half. And he goes skies and gets a rebound. It's definitely some good things in Mr. out of Mr. Curtis to start this second half. Looks like he's decided, if my backcourt mate's going to be out of this game and Colby needs himself a rest, it's going to be up to me, and I'm going to be the man to make it happen. And I like what he's doing. He's putting the ball on the floor. He's gotten to the glass twice in a row. He's got that part of his game in him. He's not just a three-point shooter when he wants to be. When he decides to put that ball on the floor, he certainly can. And he rolls in the first free throw. Back to 5. After this, fans take a trip over to the other ACAA TV channel for the Mount A men's game against the Mount A men's game against the Mount St. Vincent in Sackville. With Steve Littleton on the call, and that's going to be a travel. Good call. Some busy feet there by Jaden Norton, and Crandall's doing a good job making him work for his hoops. He's gotten them, but he's not efficient as normal. Not efficient as Norton tonight. And Crandall can use that. And that's a travel right back. I was going to say the same thing. Forced it a little bit. Did Norton at one end, and his co-first team all-star in the ACAA at the other end. The same mistake, just a little bit busy feet as he got in the lane. 4-point game. 2:56 clock running. Third quarter. Well played there by Cormier. Norton not able to do the job, but coming up short there on that one was Zav Buckley, but he got the ball back, outworked Crandall inside to get it. And Josh Crocker put his head down and taking that charge bravely. That time was Sasha Gauthier playing through some pain. Ankle, it was some question as to whether he would play or how much he would play yesterday, but seemingly from the shoot around, feeling pretty good. And there goes a nicely designed play, but Gab Cormier, or pardon me, Dan Hawks just not able to finish off the feed. Back on the floor is Lawrence. Norton sets up nicely Mr. Lombardi, but he's not able to hit. Down to Lombardi. Back comes Crandall, dodging a couple bullets here. Oh, nice move inside from Gabe Cormier, lays it in. Down to a 2-point game. Timeout, Kings College Blue Devils. And the fans giving their Crandall Chargers a hand. Not at full strength. Now missing an all-star. But what are they doing? They're getting back into it. I said 9 points was probably the worst case scenario, or the best case scenario at halftime, and they could come in here and use that as a stepping stone mentally. You know, hey guys, we could be worse off than we are, and they could have been at halftime. But now they're kind of right back where they want to be in this game. 2 points and on a run. So Kings College Blue Devils, like I mentioned earlier, I talked to Coach Luke Stevenson there last night. He gave me a couple minutes. Real nice guy, friend of a kid I used to coach back in the day, Mr. Andrew Sears. Mr. Sears, if you're listening, your friend said nice things about you. I'm not sure why. Normally, you know. But, no, he said wonderful things about Mr. Sears and, you know, knowing his game from Acadia and having coached there. So, good buddies. And so shout out to Andrew if you're listening. If you're not, why not? Your friend's coaching. Come on, man. Get on ACAA TV and check it out. But, yeah, he took over a 2-16 program, did Mr. Stevenson. And in no time, here they are in position to knock off a team higher in the standings here. Get to semifinal Friday in the ACAA. Inside goes Norton, and he takes the feed in there and lays it up for 2. Corson O'Rourke dropping the dime for Norton inside. Back to a 4-point game. Curtis trying to work in baseline, goes through contact and makes 2. And and apologizes afterwards. Thought he got maybe one of those two in the face with an elbow. Says sorry after he finishes. What a gentleman. 2-point game once again. Handoff to Norton. And Gauthier now is in his grill, and oh my. That is a no call, fans. That's a no call. That's a guy putting the ball on the floor and being met in the chest by a defender anticipating his movement. And yeah, that's a no call. That's a play on, fans. I'm not sure what else you can do as a defender there. It's certainly not an offensive foul, so that's a play on. Come on now. And inside, almost looked like he didn't want to get it up, but turned out okay for Josh Crocker. They maintain possession. Norton handoff to Dali Lombardi. Off to Crocker. Turned it over almost, but was hit. And I don't think Coach McKillop is very happy with the whistle right now. I don't have much to say about that foul. That could have been clean, could not have been clean. I don't have a right to say anything for my position on that one, but Coach McKillop didn't seem to be too pleased. Inside 10 seconds now to 6. Dropping off inside. He's got to get it up to Crocker. Misses that hook and collected by by Cormier. Witt back on the floor as well after that foul from Gauthier. Curtis wants the ball in the wing. Inside goes the big man, Lawrence, and he's not able to finish. Boy, did Curtis ever want that. He felt he could have got up a clean 3. And looks like, I'm not sure what the call is. Might have been a clock situation. Looks like a clock situation, yep. Reset to 18 on the clock. 28 seconds left, third quarter. 2-point game. Big game for both these teams. Crandall really wants, to prove their programs in the upper echelon and moving up in this league. And Kings, young team, up and coming, thinks their time's now. You talk to Coach Luke Stevenson, he thinks we can win games right now. And they're showing it here tonight. This young squad, they're led by their veteran, this guy, the first team All-Star. Misses that bank shot. Punched out by Lawrence, and Crandall's got a 2-on-1, and they're going to use it. Missed lay-in from Cormier, but right back goes Curtis. Gets it back to Cormier. Gets it out to Curtis. He's going to pop along, 2, and down it goes. Curtis is feeling confident right now. 2-1 on the clock. Getting it off is Norton, and he banks in a 3 to end the third quarter. Boy, you want to say luck, but that guy makes more shots that you would call lucky than anybody I've seen in this league in a while. So I'm not going to call it that. Bank's open. It's late in the evening, but the bank's open for Jaden Norton, and he puts his team up 3. But if you got to be happy if you're a Crandall fan. And it is a 20-point deficit on the island for the Crandall women right now. I'll check the score. I'll check the scores there, fans, from the out of town scoreboard on ACAA TV. That's what we'll spend our third quarter break doing. I know you guys how much I get feedback all the time how much people love listening to me scroll through my phone on ACAA TV. This is a favorite, a fan favorite. Dave scrolls through his phone. All right, so let's go. Here we are, ACAA TV. Let's check it out, fans. See what's going on. We'll go to the women's side first. Mount A, we know, was winning big late, so we know we'll skip past that. We'll go right to Holland Crandall, fans, and see what's going on over there. We'll get it up to the moment score. 74-44. Holland over Crandall. 7 minutes left in that game. So Holland's going to move on to semifinal Friday on the women's side. along with Mount A. And Mount A will face Stu on Friday in one game. Stu men and women will host a game that night. And the Holland guys, the Mount St. Vincent women will host the Holland Hurricanes, coming off an upset of Stu and a big win in their own gym over the Crandall women tonight. So that's going to be a tester for the Mount, coming off their first place finish. And that is a pretty looking release from Dali Lombardi. Splashes in a 3. And this game was tied, and all of a sudden, back-to-back 3s from the Blue Devils, and the league's back to 6 as this fourth quarter gets going. Big shot from Sasha Gauthier. Runs it down in the corner. Oh, almost saves it off of Zav Buckley, but Buckley able to contort himself and keep that ball in bounds. Josh Crocker now for the Devils. Hands it off to Zav Buckley, who's been terrific this game, and he's terrific. Oh, this is that lefty lay-in, though. Past Lawrence. A little strong on the left-hand finish. Crandall down 6. 8:38 clock running. Fourth quarter. And Gauthier is going to try his luck again, this time right-handed. Wonder whether he's planting the same way off his foot, his injured foot. Looks like he's moving real well. So just wasn't able to finish there on that end either. Lombardi's going to try his hand again and nails another 3. Dali Lombardi stretching this lead out for Kings Blue Devils back to 9, quick as you like. And Crandall's got problems, and they're about to get bigger. You're going to see a timeout after this lay-in from Zav Buckley. Pushes the lead out to 11 for the Kings Blue Devils. And the bench hops up, dapping up their boys, and well they should. An 11-point lead now here. Crandall facing a deficit with all kinds of things working against them. If you're Coach Todd McKillop, you got to be calm in that huddle. There's so much time left, and you've got a veteran team with so much potential here in the fourth quarter. Well, I say you got a veteran team. You got a veteran team mixed with some new fellas. You got Brett Curtis in his fourth year, and Colby Lawrence in his fourth year. But besides that, you're working with all rookies, really, at this point. So I say veteran squad, but really, he's got to lean on those 2 vets in this fourth quarter. And on the Blue Devils side, too, once you get past Jaden Norton, it's all youngsters on this side as well. Zav Buckley, he's a first-year player. Lombardi, second-year player. Kurbanov, third-year player, but really Kurbanov, the only significant third year on this squad. Everybody else, Ivan Jonde playing only his second year. Crocker is a first year. O'Rourke we've seen first year. So these guys, the guys that are significant contributors for the most part for both squads, are super, super young. But they're leaders, they're all-stars, they're the vets, and they might be the ones to decide it. So Lawrence back on the floor now. Ryan Campbell back on the floor now for the Chargers, and taking a little bit of contact there was Curtis wanting a foul. Didn't get it. Gauthier was working pretty hard for that ball inside. They got, that's a pretty look. Back out to wide open Buckley for 3. Missed that rebound. Looked like it might have gone off of Gauthier's head, but I think that might have been a referee going, well, instead of the foul call, which I could call here, I'll just give it to that team. That's sometimes what you see. And if you're a ref, you just go clap, clap. That's fine. We accept it. Oh, and that could be big. It doesn't go, but that's going to be a three-point free throw attempts. 3 free throw attempts, pardon me, for Sasha Gauthier. Got hit in the leg on that closeout from Zav Buckley. 3 points with the clock stop would be big for Crandall right now, and he gets the first. Back to a 10-point lead. And Devon Glenn is on the bench with his foot up and ice on it. You're not going to see him in this fourth quarter if you're a Crandall fan. So heal up, Devon, heal up. Might need you in 2 days. All three go down for Gauthier. Big shots, 8-point lead. Need some stops now if you're a Crandall fan. Up top to Buckley. Wing three, Norden, short. Has really done a terrific job on him. I mean, his supporting cast has been really good tonight because he just hasn't been efficient. He's been good, don't get me wrong, Norden, but just not efficient. Crandall forcing him into a lot of difficult shots, which is exactly what you want with a guy that talented. Curtis, speaking of difficult shots. Okay, my first team all-star mate was better than me and showed me up a little bit in the first half. Let's see if I can be the guy to finish. Curtis having a much better second half, and he's brought his team back to 6. Good close out there from Cormier on Zav Buckley, but he just rose up and splashed it through from the perimeter. Lead back to 8. Buckley's been great all night. Young point guard, first-year point guard for Kings. Jeepers. Back rims the three to Curtis, but rebounded there in the corner by Cormier. And he's going to look to get into the paint. He does. Good swing for Crandall. Gets it all the way around to Curtis for a floater, and he gets it to go. Ooh, boy. Big minutes from their leader in this second half. As we approach the halfway mark of this fourth quarter, things are tightening up. Oh, a nice rebound inside there from Corson O'Rourke, and he goes back up. Blocked shot, but he got hit on the body pretty hard. He's going to have a chance to spread this lead out. Back comes Colby Lawrence. Ryan Campbell checks out. If you're Coach Todd McKillop, I'm not 100% on the fouls in the timeout situation here. We don't get those communicated out here, but if I'm Coach Todd McKillop, in lieu of ever subbing Lawrence out the rest of this game, I'm going to try to give him rest with timeouts, and those are 2 big missed free throws by O'Rourke. Remains a 6-point game. 5 minutes, 22 seconds, clock running, fourth quarter. 6-point game here in the Crandall Gymnasium. That's why you need them. Run the double team at me, no problem. I'll make the right pass. I'll spin away from it and make a soft little 8-foot jumper, says Lawrence, and he's the leading scorer in this game. I'd be surprised if he's not. And rolling as O'Rourke gets it knocked out of his hands by Cormier. His fellow first year, Gabe Cormier. He's going to make a good decision with the ball here. He does. Gauthier almost had it knocked away. Finds Cormier for 3, and it's a big one. Misses, but there's Lawrence with the free throw, and he's going to put up a baby hook. Tries to kiss it in off the glass. Misses. Remains a 4-point game. 4:31 now. Clock running fourth quarter. Norden going to look to go into the lane. Gets it knocked away. Crandall's got numbers if they use it. Pushing baseline is Gauthier. Gets up in the air. Finds Curtis. Luckily, got lucky on that one. Did Sasha Gauthier. He got up in the air. And he threw it back out to where he hoped Curtis was. Curtis came and met it and got hit in the process. Only the second foul in this quarter for Kings. Turning the quarter is Curtis. He gets all the way to the hoop and finishes, and it's a 2-point game. And Curtis asks for some help from the crowd, and he's getting it. And he and Lawrence just bump at midcourt. The 2 veteran leaders doing their job. pulling their team back to within 2 here. 4:12 remaining, fourth quarter. It's getting exciting, fans. And if you want the excitement to continue, you'll switch over to my man Steve Ridlington in Mount A in Sackville at the Mount Allison Gym, the McCormick Gymnasium, calling the second game of the men's side here on quarterfinal Wednesday. And we'll go and check that out. This session of Dave scrolls through his phone is brought to you by Apple, proud sponsor of Crandall University. No, hold on, I shouldn't do that. No, Apple, don't sue me. All right, let's take a look here, and we'll see what the Mount and Mount Allison are up to as we go to, I get redirected to YouTube. And second quarter action down there in Sackville. Mount A ball. The Mount, 4-point lead on Mount Allison, 27-23. A few minutes into the second quarter. So the Mount St. Vincent Mystics, they are not the favorites in that quarterfinal matchup, but they're showing out well in that gym. And Mount Allison going to the line for 2 free throws. So 27-23 Mount St. Vincent in that game. You head right over there, fans, when this game's done. Don't walk, run. Zav Buckley doing his thing. Oh boy, that was an ill-advised decision, and Luke Stevenson showing his displeasure with Ilyas Kurbanov. Kurbanov's had a solid game, but that was not a good decision. Didn't have the angle. Was ridden right out of bounds by Crandall's D. Curtis now inside to Lawrence, and he's going to go up through that defense. No problem, lays it in. They can't let him catch it there. He's got to catch it further out or it is over. He's going to body any double team that they're able to send at him at this point. The Kings now finds themselves in a tie game. Sasha Gauthier, the man checking out Norden. Zav Buckley going to work inside. Finds Kurganov, but he's wrapped up, but he finds Buckley. Buckley not able to finish, loose ball. Who's going to collect? Boy, that ball was there for Crandall to collect, just weren't able to do so. Good job there from Zav Buckley, who's a little bit worked up. His teammates are saying, calm down, and he is expressing a little frustration there, Buckley. Nothing wrong with that. Not directed to the officials. Talking to his coaches. I like it. He felt like he should be on the line on one of those shots, but he is not. Norden finds him on the inbounds. Right back to Norden. Well met in the corner there by Curtis. Can't get off a three. There goes Buckley though. There's that man again. In and out this time for Dali Lombardi. Boy, that one looked good. I think he thought he made it too. It would have been his third of the quarter. Curtis using the screen, pulling up. Oh, and I think Lawrence was looking for a shot up. Rightfully so if I'm Lawrence. That's a tough one. It's always a tough one. You're trying to be unselfish and hit your man. But at some point the big man's like, all right, well, I'm in rebound mode. And it was just a little too late. Crandall playing this zone, giving up a three there to Buckley. Didn't hit a box out. In goes John Day to give them a second opportunity. And guess who makes them pay? Jaden Norden. Corkscrew move in the paint. Finishes and gives his squad a 2-point lead. 2:32 clock running fourth quarter. Sasa Gauthier uses that screen, gets in the lane. Nice layoff to Hawks. Kisses it in for two. Boy, that was pretty. You can't run a pick and roll any better than Sasha Gauthier just did. Smart cut from Hawks, too. Laid it off. Could have stayed out there for a three, but made the smart play. Speaking of smart plays, finding that man for three is not a bad play right now, but he missed the second in a row. Crandall now. Clock running, 1:54 fourth quarter. And yeah, He's been trying to disguise it. Curtis has been trying to hide it for the fourth quarter. And not sure why they picked now all of a sudden for him to have to get worked on. I mean, he's been taking care of it most of the quarter, wiping it off. He must have a cut in his hand. He's been wiping it off, wiping it on his shorts. They blew it dead. It's just such a strange time to do it. I get it. I get it if you're a referee. It's not easy. You got to blow it dead when you see it, but he's been tending to it all quarter. Seems like an odd time to make it an issue. 1:53 left. 69-69 here. And they got no choice, Crandall. They got to put Ethan Witt on the floor, sub him out. Boy, what a tough break. The breaks just aren't going Crandall's way, but they keep finding a way through it. But how many more things can they get away with? Now they got their leading scorer, first team all conference on the bench for the biggest minutes of the game. And Zav Buckley, chicken wings at the free throw line. Smart play by him. Refs aren't going to call that. Gives himself a little bit of space and he bangs it in. And now Crandall, biggest possession of the game for them. Look at Cormier finding Witt, stepping in for Curtis and banking in a two. And we're tied up again. And Curtis is at the scores table to come back. Norton with a big three. Are you kidding me? Jaden Norton not having the most efficient evening, but he doesn't care. Deep three, lines it up, splash, and it's a three-point game just like that. Man, this is a game, fans. I hope you're enjoying it as much as we are here in the brand spanking new shiny Crandall Gymnasium. I'm Dave Tingley. Welcome to ACAA TV if you're just joining us, and you joined us at the right time. 74-71. First team All-Star Jaden Norton just put his team in the lead. Crandall now has to answer, and they're able to get Curtis back in the game. They didn't lose too much there with Curtis out, thankfully. I mean, but you got to wonder, you know, would the defensive rotations have been different with Curtis out? Would they have scored the one possession they didn't score? You know, gosh. Such a weird time for him to have to take care of that injury. And will it cost the Chargers? They got him back on for this possession, though. 3-point game. Again, fans, I remind you, directly after this game, find the feed for the Mount St. Vincent game. Last time we checked, it was a 3-point Mount St. Vincent lead in the second quarter of that matchup. And that'll be an exciting game. Hopefully just as exciting this one's been. All right, 62 seconds remaining on the clock. Sasa Goche, he's going to be the man initiating the offense. Devon Glenn, if you're late joining us, hurt his ankle, he's on the bench. Look at that well-designed play for Curtis, and he's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. You love that. Get the ball to the high post to Lawrence. Little rub screen at the top. Back door for Curtis. You had to figure, well designed there for Coach Todd McKillop, because the natural inclination, if you're a team, even though you know the team I'm guarding, they don't need the 3, but we just made one, and they're running a play seemingly for their leading scorer, leading 3-point shooter. You figure, okay, that's where it's going. But no, they used that momentum against them. Curtis used the rub screen off the top nicely, and Lawrence found him, and 2 free throws to bring the game back to 1. Now you're looking for a stop here. If you're Crandall, stopping a score. Get you to the semifinal Friday in the ACAA. Trip to Holland. Up goes Norton for another 3. Back rims it, rebounded by Lawrence. Off to Curtis, back to Goche. What are they going to run here? Something that sees Lawrence touch it, no doubt. Curtis, though, uses that against them, and it's going to be a block and foul. Really close call. Norton looked to be maybe just a little bit late. I'd love to see the replay of that one. Coach Luke Stevenson's going to be going back and watching this one later, that's for sure. Check out where his man was. That's such a tough call to make. It looked like he might have been to my eye, I would have called it a charge. But he might have been rotating over there late. He might have had his feet in the semicircle. To me, fast speed, it looked that way, but it's such a difficult call. Oh, and Curtis in and out from the free throw line. 18.2 on the clock, fans. Curtis, the veteran, first team all-conference leading scorer, has one shot to tie it. He misses that too. And back to Kings, and now Crandall has to foul. Shot clock off. Curtis had a chance to give his team the lead, and he's got to refocus here. Got to refocus if you're Curtis. It's so tough to do. You want so bad to do well, especially in your last game. And they called I think that was more of that's a gift to the Chargers, really. They got to commit fouls and commit them quickly. They need to commit 3 more fouls. There's only 14.8 seconds on the clock. They can't let time come off the clock. They got to get it. They got to foul quickly. And so Curtis, Norton fouls. Now they got to commit 2 more. Boy, it's tough. Sometimes you want to coach to this, but it's so tough. You don't want to commit fouls necessarily. Sometimes, in a tight game, a couple minutes left, you tell your guys maybe commit one in the backcourt, get us up to 2-3 fouls in case we got to play this game late, because the problem now is Crandall, you extend this game, you got to commit 2 more fouls. That might put you under 10 seconds. Makes things tight late. So you got to foul here once. Now you got to go for the steal. Go for the steal. And then go for 1 more foul and get them on the line as quickly as possible. Give yourself as much time to work with. Curtis, that cut on the hand, you want to give him the benefit of a doubt. Geez, it's tough to make those free throws with an injury. Oh, they got him boxed in the corner. No, did they call a foul? Or was he out of bounds? Did they call a foul or was he out of bounds? Was it I don't know what they called. But it's a 1-point game, and they got to get the ball back in, and now no choice but to foul. I have no idea what that call was. And Todd McKillop doesn't either. I think it was an inadvertent whistle. Boy, that's tough to do right there. It's the only choice. Sorry, fans. Fast speed as we're moving quickly here. I don't know what that was. I think it was an inadvertent whistle because there was no foul called, and he didn't step out of bounds apparently, but maybe thought anticipated something and blew the whistle. You don't want to do that if you're an official, but he's only human. But not sure what that was. Now, Jaden Norton at the line for 2 free throws. And Curtis fouled out, I believe, on that last one. Boy. If the Crandall Chargers somehow pull this out, this is the against all odds kind of win. one of the most against all odds win I'll ever have seen, really. Just lots of stuff working against them. 3-point deficit now. Timeout. And Crandall still got some shooters. All hope is not lost. You still got some shooters. You can put out 5 guys that can make a 3 still and send this game to overtime. So let's see what they got. Let's see what their best play is. If it's me, I'm using Lawrence as a screener, clearly. But he can make a 3 as well. So I might make plan B him for a wide open three if they're looking for a guy like Gauthier or Gabe Cormier or somebody like that to come off one of his screens and get something open. But we'll see what Coach Todd McKillop draws up. Boy, fans, this has been a tough one to watch if you're a fan of either of these teams. And look, me saying against all odds victory, I mean, listen, Crandall's in their home gym and they got most of their guys, so let's not be hyperbolic. You definitely want to give credit to King's College. They've come in here and a young squad by and large, other than Norton, their leading guy, other than him, guys with not a lot of experience or no experience in these types of college playoff atmospheres. And they've got a pretty loud gym working against them, tight game, and they've shown lots of poise. Norton late making threes. And we'll see what they've dialed up. Long pitch pass and Lawrence is going to be the guy shooting it, but it's long, and they have to foul, and now 1.9 seconds left. And it's going to be Kurbanov, stepping to the line, trying to salt this away. 2 seconds left on the clock, that's all. He makes one, and King's College, the Blue Devils, are moving on. It's a semifinal Friday in Holland. And there's one, that's all he needed. So, Crandall fans, this is a disappointing end of the season. But boy, they had so much negative stuff working against them tonight, and they fight and scratched and clawed down to the last minute, and they're going to end this game 77-73. King's College moves on to a date with Holland College on Friday night on the island. So if you're a Holland College fan, you've had a good night. You get to host 2 games on Friday night to kick off your weekend. And if you're not able to be at those games on the island, catch us here on ACAA TV. So signing off for the year, fans, is myself, Dave Tingley. I've been happy to do it. It's been so much fun. Thanks to the Crandall athletic staff for having me do this, and I hope to see you guys again. So in the meantime, head over to Steve Ridlington on the Mounties broadcast from Sackville for this game, for their game, and then find ACA games on Friday and the championship game Sunday. Support the league. Thanks, fans. Final from Crandall, 77-73. Chargers go down to the Blue Devils. Moving on.